Are you interested in Magic's newest set? Well, today we're going to cover my top picks for the strongest legendary permanents. So without further ado, happy sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for dropping by and your ongoing support. My name is Patrick, host of the EDH Brutality YouTube page, in which we upload Magic the Gathering content and analysis every Sunday.
Well, actually no, because we upload more than that now.
But before we jump right into today's video, a quick and special thanks to patrons like you for making videos like this possible. As always, timestamps will be provided down in the description below, and it should be mentioned that no card will be ranked within today's video in any particular order, so feel free to skip around as you please. Any cards discussed within today's video will also be a part of Magic's newest set, Marvel Spider-Man, which is a Universes Beyond expansion within the game with some pretty crazy mechanics. For example, the legendary creature known as Anti-Venom, Horrifying Healer, which is a 5/5 legendary creature symbiote hero for 5 white mana, stating, when Anti-Venom enters, if he was cast, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If damage should be dealt to Anti-Venom, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on him. Which, open and honestly, is a rather busted ability I feel the R&D team didn't quite think through. Because let's be honest here, although he has no keywords, a reanimation effect on your commander is already good enough, not to mention one that continuously grows larger whenever it is dealt damage. Just picture this, let's say there's some overwhelming board states, and your opponents want to cast a Blasphemous Axe. Well, guess what? Every creature on board will typically die, unless indestructible, of course. But not the Anti-Venom. No, if Anti-Venom was just a measly 5/5, after the Blast Act, not only are your opponents going to clear out the board for you, but all of a sudden, this commander becomes a whopping 18/18. I can also see this easily being abused with the end core creatures, which just redirect everything to any select creature, making this guy a prime target for beating. Alright, moving up, you know how the last card we had no keywords? Well, let's talk about a commander with almost every keyword. That's right, we have Cosmic Spider-Man, a 5/5 legendary creature spider-human hero for 1 white, blue, black, red, and green, with a text box reading, flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, other spiders you control gain flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. Yet this guy isn't Spider-Man anymore, this is Anthem Man. I have never seen an effect that gives so many blanket effects to your other creatures. And of course, pair this in a Changeling tribal deck, and you'll practically be playing your own version of a Sliver deck without dumping thousands of dollars.
Well, I mean, this guy is pretty pricey, so you'll probably still be spending thousands of dollars.
Magic. What a great game. Our third card of the day happens to be a rather cheap one, and we're talking mana cost here. That card being Spectacular Spider-Man, a 1 generic and 1 white mana legendary creature spider-human hero that reads, Flash. Pay 1 generic and Spectacular Spider-Man gains flying until end of turn. Or pay 1 generic and sacrifice Spectacular Spider-Man. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Which on its own doesn't seem too overpowered until you consider the fact that this can all be done at instant speed. In fact, the creature may as well be an instant as well because it has flash. And you don't have to worry about sacrificing it and recasting with commander tax too much, because after all, the card only costs 2 mana. Which leads into the question, I don't know what is rising faster, the power within Magic the Gathering or the price of its products. Yeah. Alrighty, up next we have Lady Octopus, Inspired Inventor, which is a 0/2 legendary creature human scientist villain for 1 blue mana, stating, whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an Ingenuity counter on Lady Octopus. Tap and you may cast an artifact spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of Ingenuity counters on Lady Octopus without paying its mana cost. So, hold up. You're telling me this can get potentially 2 counters per turn? And with the right setup, we can have multiple taps and untaps of this thing? Holy broken. What a card! It's somewhat of a shame that this is only for artifacts, because if it was for other permanents, it would go perfect in several decks of mine, but that's okay. You can't win them all. Coming in at the runner-up of today's video, we have a card I am quite positive is going to do some numbers within the CEDH communities, and that being Spider-Woman Stunning Savior, which is a 1 generic and 1 white or blue mana stating flying. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter tapped, which undoubtedly is a great effect. But when paired with a 2 CMC card that can be in the command zone, and you'll be sure to turn some heads. I remember back in the day when you had to dig for your stacks pieces.
Not anymore, I guess.
Alright, moving on to the last and final card of today's video, which happens to be the Soul Stone. And I'm gonna be honest here, the best thing about this card isn't the effect, it's the artwork. Because this is artwork that can pass as a normal Magic card. In the last video, we discussed my distaste with the direction of the artwork and Universes Beyond as a whole within Magic the Gathering, and I'm happy to see a card of such caliber not backing itself into a corner with the artwork. So, what does this card do? Well, I'll tell ya. It is a 1 generic and 1 black mana legendary artifact, Infinity Stone reading. Indestructible. Tap to add 1 black mana. Pay 6 generic and 1 black and tap. Exile a creature you control. Harness the Soul Stone. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this is the card that will kill Arcane Signet in many mono black decks. So not only does it cost the same, but it is indestructible, and if you can pay the mana, once you do once, you have a free reanimation every single turn. I mean, that's just stupid. You know what's also stupid? Is this is the cheapest version of this card, and it's going for 140 USD.
What?
You see the artwork where, you know, it's holding out the hands? Well, you know, that's gonna be me holding out my hands for some change after I spend all my money acquiring this thing. Holy jokes, but yeah, this is quite the card. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's videos. Are you excited for this upcoming set? Let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, if you want to stay tuned for future videos here on the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So with that, my name is Patrick, host of EDH Brutality. I thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.
Whew, I can't believe I didn't mess that outro out. That was fast. Oh boy. Good luck understanding that.